I want to spend a few minutes and talk about a declining sales goals model as an example of a drifting goals systems archetype. Whenever a model always starts out with a balancing or a reinforcing loop as a center or focus, the point of origin that the rest of the model builds upon. I say usually because sometimes there are two or more of them, though more often than not, things build around a single balancing or reinforcing loop at the center of things. In this particular model, we have a situation where there is a current level of sales for the organization, and the organization has a sales goal that is larger than the current level of sales, and the difference between the two of those produces a gap, and that gap is the impetus for new sales effort, and after some delay it results in new sales, which moves the current sales in the direction of the sales goal. Now, so this is in fact a balancing loop, and there is a delay in it, meaning that it takes time for the sales effort to ramp up to produce the new sales that the organization is looking for. Balancing loops always have a goal, and it is good to explicitly identify them so that you're aware of what the balancing loop is trying to attain. In this case, the balancing loop is trying to get current sales to where the sales goal itself is. In this particular structure, there is in fact another balancing loop, which is between current sales and the sales goal, which is the same two variables that were used in a previous loop, only in this instance it is the difference between those two variables that results in a pressure to actually adjust or lower the goal. And if the longer it takes for the organization to actually produce the new sales and reach the goal, the more and more pressure there is likely to be for them to reduce the sales goal, because the easiest way to attain any goal is to make the goal equal to the current state, and then there's no difference and you don't have to do anything. So if that pressure to adjust the goal remains for a period of time, a long period of time, I mean months, quarters, or years, the organization begins to believe that the sales goal isn't actually achievable, and it then begins to reduce the goal so it gets closer to current sales. And when the goal is set to whatever the value of current sales is, the gap is zero, so there's no more pressure to adjust the goal, and things settle out. So you end up with two balancing loops that are acting contrary to each other, in that one is attempting to achieve a goal that is set, and the other one attempting to move the goal in the direction of the current value so that there is no effort necessary. And this is referred to as a drifting goals systems archetype. It's the reason that we set New Year's resolutions and don't achieve them, constantly set goals, things that we intend to pursue, and never manage to pursue them because the length of time that it takes to achieve the things that we set out, and we don't work at them in the appropriate ways, and it's this pressure to adjust the goal because the gap is uncomfortable, and we want the gap to go away, so that there are in fact two ways to do that. One is to actually move the objective in the direction of the goal, and the other way is to change the goal so that it is in fact equal to the current state of things, and then I don't have to do anything, as I said before. So the way out of this structure is to in fact figure out to disconnect this pressure to adjust the goal so that the sales goal in fact doesn't get changed, and figure out how you have to enhance this effort to in fact achieve achieve the goal itself. Now that's far easier said than done, though. Apparently, because the organization isn't attaining the goal that it set, it needs to do something differently. I mean, what was it? Einstein said that the definition of insanity was continuing to do the same things and expect a different result. It does, in fact, require something different to be done if it's not progressing. So, an example of a shifting goals, a specific example of a shifting goals systems archetype relating to sales goals, and you can change the labels in this diagram and produce a whole bunch of examples that are in fact probably very familiar to you. So hope this was informative, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.